People who don't want to work, why? Musical note: I just want to bang on the drum all day. I could do this all day. The loss of a personal life and control of your own time. The stress and demand now of being available 24/7 to your job. Working to afford what you want but never having time to enjoy it, or being guilt by your job for trying to take a day off to enjoy. Even if you're paid 9 to 5, you know more than that is dedicated to work, getting ready, commuting, decompressing, messages from work after 5 or on weekends, thinking about or prepping for the next day, and so on. The reward for the work put in isn't there anymore. We're tired, undervalued, and way overworked without much of an upside other than a roof and some probably unhealthy quick food. Person shrugging. Edit: thanks for my first ever award. Spending 80% of my life at a desk was awful. I found I was spending more time at work than with my husband. We struggled to make ends meet. I wasn't happy. So we shifted, sold the house, quit our careers and bought a trailer, and now travel and work only fun jobs for part of the year: camp host, tour guide, help at fun events. We have money in the bank, tons of options, zero debt, and I've realized that our weird life is so much better. I would rather not work at all, but we need to eat and need fuel. There are so many other things to do and try other than work. Work takes up too much of your time. Your 2 days off, get used doing laundry and groceries for the next week. It's not a life, you are living to work. I decided to try something different and I'm so glad we did. Just dealing with people in general I find fucking exhausting. I want to do things I enjoy. Work takes me away from that. Edit: I have a fucking job, people. Just because I don't want to work doesn't mean I don't work. I don't have much choice if I don't want to be walking, homeless, and hungry. People love to be useful and productive if they have autonomy and are in control of their own time. The modern workforce is so unnatural that it strips away much of what makes working fun. People aren't built to be robots, but workplaces often expect that you will behave like one. Where's the fun in that? Mind you, I do enjoy my job. But decades of spending 40+ hours on something is enough to make anything feel unenjoyable. I feel like the 40-60-ish hours I'm working could be better spent either with family, namely my grandparents, or on improving myself. Hell, I know this to be the case because I was just off work for 2 weeks due to an injury and spent all my time either with my grandparents, reading, or working on my little side projects I hadn't touched in 2+ years. So I have a friend who is homeless by choice. He's in his mid-50s, divorced, kids all older, though he's buried too. He's dying of lung cancer. He doesn't want to work or live in a house, he just wants to vibe until his time runs out. He panhandles for spending money, lives in his car, and does whatever he wants all the time. He doesn't want to work because he wants the last of his life to just be his. I want to work, but the primary caveat is that I want to work on something meaningful. The majority of jobs aren't doing much for society and are a waste of time. I want to work. In my garden. On my home. With my family. On crafts. But I don't want to work. I'm bad at it and it makes me feel bad. 1. Who does? Obvious and lazy answer. 2. People got sick of being treated like crap in retail and in restaurants. I've been out to dinner with people who are rude to the waiter, who've told me in the past nobody wants to work. I wonder why. I don't work in a field I care about and the field I care about doesn't pay well enough. Workplace politics are annoying and I don't like potlucks. My old company is crying for guys and is advertising everywhere. The company I'm with now has better benefits, union membership, and pays $20 more an hour. They have stacks of applications. People want to work, they just want to work for a good wage and environment. Because why would I want to spend almost all my time doing something which stresses me out and means I can't stay in bed when I want to? So many people say, oh, just get a job you love, but there literally isn't a job I want. You're saying you want to work? Given the choice, I'm sure most would rather be on permanent vacation and use hobbies to keep active and engaged. Who really truly wants to spend half their waking hours generating wealth for the owning classes just to be barely able to survive, and with little remaining capacity to do the things they enjoy? 60% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck, of which I am one and have been most of my life. 3 people have more wealth than the bottom 50%. The game is rigged for most of us to lose, and that is becoming more clear every day. I'm simply tired of playing. I hate working. But we need money in order to live. Yes, money does mean everything. But at the same time it ironically means nothing. I just want to play video games, work out, and do stuff I actually like instead of coming home exhausted and having to do laundry then it's bedtime. My HR is filled with jackasses who screwed me over. No issues with my coworkers. I'm just tired of being mistreated. Does anyone really want to work? We do it 'cause we have to. I want to work, but I only want work to be a small part of a very colorful and varied life. Instead, it's required to work 40 to 60 hours a week just to make ends meet and at the end of it, have no energy left to enjoy what little time you have outside of work. I don't want it to work for someone else. I don't want it to work for rotten wages. I don't want it to work weekends or nights. I don't want it to work with jerks. I don't want it to work where it damages my body. I don't want it to work where it damages my soul. Depression. Plus not getting paid fairly and or having to work so friggin' much to make a living and not feeling rewarded sucks. I'm tired. I like my work but I have a chronic, painful illness that wears me out. I wish I could work 1 or 2 solid days a week and pay all my bills. Then I'd still have some energy left over for life and being creative after all that. I spend a lot of time dealing with physical pain. What kind of question is this? Who TF wants to spend half their waking hours slaving away? I want to work, I just don't want to go to work. I've worked since I was 14, 33 and studying now, at about 8 jobs and not a single environment wasn't toxic. Even at a nepotism hire job, I didn't expect or get favoritism but was still ostracized fairly quickly. Nothing overt, just passive-aggressive BS disguised as office culture. I also lived off my earnings, comfortably but cheaply, from a 3 MTH job for the remaining 9 MTHs of a year because I had a breakdown from how much I hated it. But I also found complete idleness made happy moments lose meaning. So I don't think that many people don't want to work at all, they just resent the BS and compromise involved in most jobs. People don't want to work for shit wages. I have social anxiety and lots of other things wrong, plus I can't drive and there aren't many work-at-home jobs in my area. Because it no longer covers my bills even working full-time. When I was young I was very creative and enjoyed writing short stories and developing board game concepts. I never wanted to work but I have no issues providing my share to society. The issue is that I am not receiving my share, even if I work my life away. None of the jobs I actually want to do would pay a wage I can raise my family with. I don't know anyone who wants to work. It baffles me that people want to work. I have thousands of hobbies and interests that I would much rather be pursuing than stacking shelves or pouring drinks or typing on a computer all day. Unfortunately, work is a necessary evil so that I can afford to do those things. Every second I sit here in an office making even more money from multimillionaire is a second wasted. I could be practicing a new instrument, or reading a book, or learning something new, playing a video game, planning a TTRPG session, spending time with my loved ones. Unless someone is willing to pay me to just be myself and do my thing and call it work, then I will never want to work. Work to live. Never live to work. It's not that I don't want to work. I want to work less. Like max 30 to 32 hours and be compensated well enough where I can put my bills on autopay. Work isn't the issue, it's how much we have to work to live, and I make well above minimum wage, but it is still a struggle to make ends meet. Major depression, PTSD, burnout, exhaustion. I've had a job for 17 years now. I still hate work and don't want to do it. It's not that I don't want to work, it's that I don't want to work for someone else. I want to get up in the morning and follow my passion. I'm an engineer, I design race car parts for my day job. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but some days it's just work. I wake up and want to spend my day in my gardens in the sunshine, but I need to go to the office. I don't get up and say, today I'm going to work on that hydroponic system I thought up because that's what I want to do today. I still end up devoting tons of time to my passion projects, but always interrupted by my job. I don't work, but allow me to explain. I have major digestive issues where leaving the house is impossible. Bowel incontinence is rife, and I challenge anyone to try and maintain a job when you can barely travel there. When you're stuck inside for so long, other medical issues begin to develop until you're just riddled with illnesses. Let me stress, I want to work. I want to live a normal life. I want the doctor to give me a colostomy bag so I can lead a mundane, boring life. But they're dragging their feet, and it looks like I'll have to find 12,000 pounds on my own. Catch-22. Why don't we want to spend time from our life that we'll never get back doing unrewarding tasks to accrue wealth for others in the hope that we'll be able to survive? I wonder. This is a weird question to me because it automatically assumes that I should want to work. Why would I want that? Why would anyone? I'm disabled and have chronic fatigue. I'm not sick enough to hope to qualify for disability payments. Working takes all my energy, so I have nothing left for anything that makes me happy. I work to support my other job, which is medically managing myself. It's a vicious cycle. Right now I am not working. I am finding I want something part-time, simple, just for adult interaction. I don't think the problem is the work itself, but low pay, terrible bosses/coworkers, way too long work hours, etc. Plus, I think our society has developed a very unhealthy relationship with work. It's not enough to go do your work and go home anymore. Work has to be the most important thing in your life. You have to define your identity by what kind of work you do, and God forbid you refuse to do extra work. For me, what gives my life meaning and brings me satisfaction is spending time with friends, is going for a walk, watching a movie, reading a good book, enjoying a meal with loved ones, and we have little time for those things anymore. The real question should be why anyone would want to spend at least 8 hours a day every day of the best years of his life rotting in the same office when there are more places to see and things to do that an entire life spent doing what you want would allow, if you didn't have to. If I could do a job that was much less stressful, simple, and enjoyable, I would. But to just survive this world, you got to make a lot more than minimum wage. There is nothing that I love enough to want to spend 40+ hours a week doing it. I don't want to work. I want to read. I want to watch the TV shows and movies I enjoy. I want to ride my bike. I want to be able to cook meals and try new recipes. I want to go visit friends who don't live within walking distance. I want to play video games. I want to provide my pets with the food and healthcare they need. I want to be able to take care of myself and get the healthcare I need. I want to build things and tinker with cars and build fish ponds. Unfortunately, all of those things take money, and since I was neither lucky enough to be born with a silver spoon up my ass, or won the lottery, I have to work to do them. I think most people want to be valid and useful members of their society.